with Jamie from Inky&Scrappy, back with our Let's Start Stamping series. We're gonna hit another sketch today and try to work through these, you know, as we go. I'm thinking this one, we'll see how it turns out. So I was gonna do this one, but it requires a little bit wider one, so I'd probably cut this one down to 3, use that same style layout, and then just go with my other measurements on this one, which is that 1.5" square. So basically kind of going like this, but bringing it down to kind of match that style. So what I'm thinking. So I want 4 different patterns of paper, I'm pretty sure. So because I think I'm going to bring in this one is about 1 inch wide. So this is definitely really good for those little stamps that you might have, or smaller images. You wouldn't even need to stamp. You could probably cut out smaller pieces of paper that maybe have the sunflower image on them or something. That would be really cute with sunflowers. I do have sunflower stamps. Oh man, now I want to switch up what I was thinking about doing. Not that, you know, that happens frequently around here or anything. Do I want to do, okay, that'd be really cute with sunflowers. Okay. We're sticking with the caramel apple. You know, you can do it with sunflowers, share it with me. Love to see it. So I'm going to go with the caramel apple because that one's about 1 inch wide, so I can get that one down here. It's going to end up being a little bit wider on my length. It's not going to be a 1 by 1 inch square. Keep in mind it doesn't have to be a square, so if you're doing a flower, you could definitely have that as the actual flower image, especially if you're using die cuts and layering. That would be really cute. Like a little butterfly would be really cute in there, something along that line. You don't even have to have the 4 of the same shape and or image. So you could do an apple, a pumpkin pie, a donut, you know, something little. You have 4 different coffee cups, anything that's little that's going to fit in there that'll flow and work well. So I'm going to start by bringing in a paper pad because I want to bring in my strips here in those colors. Sunflower would be so pretty. So here's where you can kind of decide if you want to go bold or if you kind of want to keep it simple. So for me, I tend to go more towards more of a mono, I don't want to say monochromatic, but more of a tone on tone pattern paper look. I think it gets, personally to me, I don't like it overly busy. So that's my personal preference. I would not go like this one and that one and that one and that one. To me, that's way too loud and busy. Okay, so granted, you can definitely go that route, and you could definitely do, like, this would be pretty if you did 4 strips of this all in the same color or all on the same tone. You could do the leaf one here. Oh, you do a little leaf up there. All of those, you know, I'm just throwing some ideas out here. I haven't worked this one through in my head yet. As you can tell, it's kind of coming out as we go. 4 little pumpkins with, so I wouldn't go with the pumpkins on the background, but you could definitely, if you do pumpkin pies up there, that would be kind of cute with pumpkins in the background. Okay, let's go with that one. I can do that one because it's a scrap. This layout works really good for using up some of those scraps if you have a lot of them. So I want to kind of keep my red, orange. Do I want to go a different color orange and a different pattern of red, or I could bring in a blue? Let's try to go with the reds and the oranges on this one though. I could go with the brown. Here's a different red. Well, we'll use that one and not that one. And let's grab the red. All right, let's bring in my paper cutter. I would love to say I was organizing all week. I've been in the tractor the better part of the last 2 weeks. Hopefully we are coming to hopefully close. So this one is supposed to be 1.25 inches. I don't think I can get away with cutting it that way. I'd try though, you know, if I could. So 1.25 inches. And let's do this one. I'm gonna use the orange side, but to get my 1.25 inches here. This one is cut at, that would be, well, just to make my life easier, I'm gonna just square it up. Okay, so 5.5 would be 4.25, 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches. 4.75 1.25 inches, and I have a scrap somewhere. 1, 2, 3. I put it back in there. I don't know. That's not it either. I lost it. How did I? Okay, we're not commenting. Okay. All right. I'm glad we had this discussion. All right, 1.25 inches. If we have a die that's 1.25 inches or something close, that would probably work as well for this one. But I'm going to cut my strips today, I do believe. So I have all of them. We have those there. What do we want for a background piece? I think I want to go with something brown and caramely colored, because we're going to do caramel apples, right? Let's see, in my brown pile here. That one's probably caramely enough. Let's see if I can get, ooh, perfect. 4.25 by 5.5. I love when I can use a scrap under my scrapbook. Now, for those caramel apples, do I want to mat them? Do I want them just on there? I think we might just do them as the shape on the top. We will see when we get that far. So to start with, I'm going to start gluing this one down. I'll get my base part of my card done. Oh. 8.5 by 5, 8.25 by 5.5. Scored at that 4.25 line, and then folded in half for my card base. So for this one, do I want to do just distressing on this one today? Let's. So for, oh, this is, all right. Let's have a little discussion about one or close to my heart's cardstock. It's got like this, I don't know. It's acid and lignin free, but it's kind of got like a, it doesn't suck in oxides at all. It sucks in regular dye ink, okay? I'm gonna go with Archival today, just because I want it to dry right away and not get everywhere. So I'm hoping the Archival will kind of fix that. Now, which means I have to have a dedicated Archival brush. So I guess this one will be a dedicated Archival brush. This one is just one I picked up the Dollar Tree maybe, or the like, somewhere cheap. I think Dollar General has them. They used to. I don't know if they do anymore. This kind of style. I think they're a little bit bigger. I know I have some here if I didn't pass them on to, you know, one of my many victims that I got started in card making. Okay. I don't know. Can you see it? I guess you can see it a little bit. I'm going to set this off to the side because we're going to need that later on. I'm going to glue this one on to my card base. Should have I done the inside first? Probably. But once in a while, we have to live dangerously. They always make more cardstock for the inside. Well, I didn't get too brown, so I think we're good there. One. I'll probably go every other because I like that every other look. Just trying to figure out how close I need all of these to be together. Now you can definitely do, I could have cut this one down a little bit, put another layer behind it. I'm going off script, off of my thing, and just doing a straight fold here. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go. So here's where you can take a block if you want your edges to be a little bit more perfect, and you just kind of rip it up this way and it'll be a straighter look. I'm fine with it just being a torn look. And here's where we're going to come back in with that brown ink and just kind of do the edges on these as well. I'm really not so worried about the sides as I am that really stark white bottom part. So there's that one. I want to go, as long as I'm keeping it under that 4 1/4 kind of mark. I don't know why I got a point on both of those. Weird. Because I can't tear like a normal person. I don't know. Okay, so just distressing all of those again. I think I was trying for more white space, and that's why I was getting it funky. Do I want to do the other one that I kind of have? I'll probably go back. You can do more of an angle on these if you want, less of an angle. This one's just going to look funny, so I'm going to compare to the rest of them. Okay, so we have those done. Now you have these, and you can definitely use these on another card if you so, you know, if you wanted to. You could make it a smaller. This one wasn't big enough, but you get what I'm throwing out there. Okay. All right, let's go with this one. Doing some text on your background piece would kind of like a tone on tone text would be really pretty on the background on this one. You know I like text, so that's probably one of my go-to background stamps when you're looking at adding some background style stamps that don't have to be perfect, but this way you don't have to buy all the cardstock all the time. But Janie, you like buying all the cardstock all the time. Ooh, I should probably switch this one and this one up, huh? Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to have plaids next to plaids, which is fine, but I made a mess. Whoops. Upside down. I still have a plaid next to a plaid. Oh, silly girl. You knew that's how it was going to roll, didn't you? I guess this way I didn't have those two next to each other, which are non-plaid, so I guess, you know, technically I did okay. Okay, so there's my card base per se. So that's kind of my foundation is already built. Now I just need to stamp and color my images. Let's make sure that this one is going to fit how I think it is going to fit. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, so it should work all the way across there. Now we can switch up the apple colors, maybe a yellow apple or a green apple, and then of course a red apple. But you know, that one's not such big. So I'll probably do 2 red apples and maybe 2 green apples. The green's gonna stick out, but I think it'll be okay. So we will go and stamp this one. Let me find. So I'm going to set this one off to the side. We'll bring this one in and grab a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock. Let's go this way with it. Actually, I can go this way with it. Okay, and we're going to bring in our Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink for this one. If you wanted to and you had a brown ink, you could probably go with brown on these. It would probably add to that distressed vintagey fall vibe. Okay. Oh, I didn't get the top. I just test it to make sure that my image is not going to overlap with the other image I put down. It's, you know, just making sure that it doesn't actually touch, and you should be fine there. Then we're going to pull this one this way and to do that same thing. I like to squeak as many images on there as I can. Don't mind me not pressing down all the way. Okay, so we have our 4 caramel apples in there. Set that off to the side. Let's find, I think we should be able to go with kind of the same browns that we went with last week. So I'm going to go with raw umber and hazelnuts, I think. So I ended up pulling out my chart scan. I can't remember. So R865 and R586 for my reds, which are coral red and geranium red. And then for my green, I'm going to end up bringing in just one. I don't want to go super dark, and that was my other option, was this one with another darker one. But we're going to go with G289 for a yellow green. And then for my browns, I think we're going to get a really nice caramel color with Y585, which is yellow ochre, I think. And then E288 hazelnuts. Those will be my caramel colors. And then for my stick, I'm just going to bring in brown gray, which is E280. The browns, I think, are, not all of them are in that 60. Some of them are in that Skin Tones 36 pack. And then we'll bring in the white, or we'll bring in the colorless blender or a white gel pen to add in a highlight on there. So let's get started. I want 2 red ones and 1 or 2 green ones. I'm going to go every other. I think we'll put the green ones on top of the red ones, you know, red pieces of paper. So I'm going to start down here. So usually I do the darker, because you figure it's going to have a little bit of a shadow here. And then I'll go around the stick as well. And then I'm going to go in with the second layer with my darkest and kind of pull it up a little bit. So I'm making it a little bit darker on my dark line here. And I like doing some, I don't want to say, I don't know, some apple lines. I guess my apples are never, at least the tree grown ones are never. So I'm coming in with that coral red, and I'm going to go over my first layer a little bit. I'm not going to go too far down with it. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm trying to leave a highlight spot, even with my darker red colors. So I think we're good there. I'm going to go right along the edge, so if the edge is red, then the highlight area. And then I'm just going to go back over the whole area again, recoloring what I've already colored, and then hitting those highlight areas. Now here's where maybe your highlight got lost or it's really not as good of a highlight as you want, you can come in with that colorless blender and just kind of push the color a little bit. It's really more of a, I don't want to say it's an eraser, but it's kind of a color pusher. So it's going to push that color into the paper a little bit more. And you're going to get that highlight that way. So let me see. See in the backside how it looks inkier in those spots? That's because I took this one and kind of pushed that color in a little bit more. And so it kind of makes it lighter on the surface. It's still kind of there, but it's just deeper into the paper. So I hope that makes sense. So let's do the same thing with our second one here. Whee! So here's hoping that by Saturday, when this one airs, that we will be done combining corn. So when I say combine, so the corn comes, and I'm a country girl, so I never always realize that people don't understand that there's different kinds of corn. So like your sweet corn is not what we combine in the fall. So this is grain corn. I guess it's, what the animals eat, but it's also the corn that you would get, like your cornflakes would be made out of, or cornstarch is made out of. So it's not the same as sweet corn. It's a different variety, kind of like apples are different varieties. The same is true with corn. So we harvest it a lot. No, we harvest a lot of it. We harvest it in different phases, I guess, or phases of doneness. So usually starting the end of August, beginning of September, we do, because we raise animals, we do corn silage, which you take the whole plant and you cut it up, and then we put it on a pile or in a bag and you let it ferment, and that's what the cows like to eat for, that's their diet. So we do that at that point, and then we do some corn straw, or not corn straw, we do high moisture corn, which is, the corn's not all the way dry yet. I'm going to do the same with the green, but I'm doing it with one marker, so we have one layer of, I'm going to probably do 2 or 3 layers on these just to get a little bit more color variation, and let it dry a little bit more in between the layers. So we do, after we do silage, then we do high moisture corn, but it's called I shouldn't say we do high moisture corn, because that's when you actually take the combine out and you combine the corn when it's higher moisture, like, I don't know, I think it has to be like 30%. I don't know the number on that one. That's not my job. But you take the corn out at a higher moisture, and then it ferments in a silo usually. That's how we used to do it, or in a bag. Now we do earlage, which they combine the whole, or they chop the whole ear of the corn up, and then the animals eat that whole ear, or the whole cob of the corn, I guess. So that's usually fairly soon after, and it depends on the year, to be honest, like weather conditions, how far along everything is. It's, yeah. So we did earlage right after silage this year, and then right after we were done with earlage, the beans were dry, so we combined beans, soybeans, and then these aren't edible soybeans, they're just dry soybeans. So we did soybeans, and then the soybeans were, well, before we were done with the soybeans, the corn was ready to go, but we finished soybeans. And then moved on to, I was off camera, sorry. We moved to dry field corn, and so we've been doing dry field corn. It takes a while. It's a process, because you take it out and you want it at 15% moisture. That's the sweet spot, I guess. It's, when you don't get discounted, or you don't get deducted when you sell it if it's at 15, and it's, you don't want it too dry because it'll crack, and you don't want it to crack. So there's, all these things, right? So this year Unlike most years we end up going and drying it down a ton, and it takes forever to dry down. And this year, because it was so dry in August, September, we haven't gotten a significant rainfall since the beginning of August. So it's super dry out there, and we've been going nonstop for 2+ weeks to get corn out. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so I'm coming in. I think my yellow ochre is my darker color here. So I'm kind of going to go, I want the top to actually be my lighter shade because I kind of want it to have the highlight there. But I think we might go and just hit the peaks here. Maybe I should have hit the valleys. I guess we can try it on both and see how I like it. I'm also going to come in from this side a little bit on this one to kind of help give it that round shape. So anyways, the guys have been combining corn, moving it. So basically we've been putting it in a bin, letting it heat up, and then we shut it off right away and then cool it down and then move it into a regular bin because you want to mix it, make sure it's all dry, uniform, whatever. And usually it takes a few days for that to happen. Sometimes, like if it's really wet and it's cold, it can take a long time because you're trying to heat really cold air. It's Minnesota. And so this year, I don't think since we've been married we've ever had a year where it's been this dry and go time, man. So we've been doing corn. A lot of corn. I'm not on camera again. I need to put, there's my stop sign. Don't worry, I'll move it just like, you know, testing when it's right. I think we get an okay caramel color from this one. I would probably, if I had all of my colors, there's one that I really like that's a caramely color, but I'm looking at them and I can't, off the top of my head, I can't. Raw umber maybe. Probably potato brown. I don't know. I'd have to look. Anyways, so because we combine the corns, you just take the corn off of the corn cob. That's what the combine does. And then you still have the corn stalk is still out there. So yours truly gets to sit in a tractor with, it's called the stalk chopper because you're just chopping the stalks that are left behind for the most part. So yours truly is out there in a tractor with the stalk chopper driving up and down the field. Yeah. It's boring. That's all I gotta say. It's not, I mean, it's not horrible. It's a lot easier than a lot of the other tasks that, you know, come after this one. And then, so we chop it. So usually we bale it. Most of ours we bale because we use it for bedding for the cows or the young stock. So the cow is definitely better at using all of the things that the plant gives us, you know, than we are. Because then, of course, after the cow's done using the corn stalks, we spread it back out in the field and it helps the crops grow again the next year. So, all in good fun, right? But that's why this time of year is super busy for us. And I always think the spring is so busy, but I think the spring is just annoying because you have to pick all the rocks, which is tedious. But, you know, you're only putting little seeds out there. Then once those seeds grow, and then you have to harvest them all, it just takes a little longer, I think. It's funny how, you know, our point of reference while we're in it is different than once it's done. Like now we sit back and I'm like, whoa, it's a lot easier in the spring. There's a lot less work to do in the spring. You know, dig it, plant it. Well, dig it, pick rocks, plant it. Granted, we pick rocks and then we pick rocks and then we pick rocks again. But whatever. Anyways, that's what I've been doing. Not a whole lot of other things get done this time of year, at least not for me. Trying to get the garden stuff in because I was slacking. We've had really warm, unseasonably warm weather here at least, which I really can't whine about because I don't really particularly care for the cold at all. So, you know, there's that. But being that it's been so warm, it's kind of been nice. I don't have to worry about, you know, getting the garden in. Now I do because it froze last night and the night before. I think it was our first frost this week. So I did go out yesterday and cut the rest of the stuff out of the garden that needed to get in. Now it's a matter of me actually doing something with the stuff that I harvested. Yeah. Alrighty. I kind of like that one where I went up a little bit further, but I mean, I suppose I can go back in and add another layer. So if you don't like your blend the first time through, adding a second and or third layer is definitely going to give you a richer, smoother, transitional color tone. If that's something that you struggle with and you don't know how to get it richer, I oftentimes am just lazy when it comes to coloring and I don't want to go and do the extra work for a second layer. But you can definitely see the difference by adding that second layer. Once it's dry, you'll see a little bit better of a difference. Now, for doing some highlights, I'm not huge on highlighting. It's just not really my, I don't know. I fear I don't do them in the right spots, right? So I'm going to come in. I probably should have done this before it was all dry because it's going to take a little bit more to push it through. It's like re-wetting your ink and then hoping for the best. Okay, we're going to cheat. All right. So this is I like the number 10 jelly roll. It's a little bit thicker. I usually like to test it out, make sure it's working well. So you can see, I don't know, can you see? Can you see that it's working well? It's flowing. The ink is flowing. That's probably one of the biggest things with jelly roll style pens or gel ink is to make sure that they're still moving. Because a lot of times, you know, if they're not used frequently, they'll dry. Like the tip will dry out and then you get that where it's not flowing well and you'll see people struggle with it. I struggle with it. It's just one of those things. So I usually do lines, some dots. I don't have a rhyme or a reason. I'm going to be totally honest. Wherever I think it'll look good as a highlight, I usually try to add it and go from there. Do I always? I'm probably one of the worst people at actually taking the time to do the little details. So don't, you know, find somebody else that does it all the time. They'll probably have better tips and tricks for you. So anyways, how is your guys' fall going? Are you guys busy in the fall too? Or is it kind of like everybody's, my kids aren't in school anymore. This is their first year not. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of nice all at the same time. So I am going to run these through the Brother Scan and Cut because I don't have them. I don't have the die for this one. So I will run those through the Brother Scan and Cut and I will be right back. So I have them all cut out and we just need to add them. I think I'm going to pop them up just a teeny tiny little bit just to give them, you know, because the card itself doesn't have a whole lot of dimension. So I think if I just pop these guys up, so I'm just going to put a sticky back piece here. So this is just from the Dollar Tree. If you're looking for some cheap foam rectangles that are already cut, it's kind of nice. And then I picked these up off of either scrapbook.com has them, Amazon has the little mini strips. So these ones happen to be the same thickness as the little ones from the dollar store. So I'm just going to go with those. It just makes adding that dimension to the stick really easy because they're already pre-cut. But if all you have is the other ones, you just have to cut them down to the thickness or the width. I don't know. The width of the stick, I guess. And you could have just popped up one. That would be kind of cool too. I like this one best of all. I like how I colored on it. The other ones look like, I'm just kidding. Sunshine. So I'm just gonna peel those. You can add liquid glue if you want. If you add a little bit of liquid glue onto the back of your foam adhesive, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room on your position time. So, oops. It also will leave glue behind if you muck it up. It's alright. That's what my fingers are for. Or a paper towel. Wet wipe if you want to get all of the glue off. I find that wet wipes kind of, or a lightly moistened towel, as long as it's not too moist, it will pick up, you know, the little film that might be left behind. Now you can go straight across. Do I want to go straight across? Or you can kind of pop one up, one down, and kind of zigzag them in that fashion. Was I planning on zigzagging? Nope, I was planning on going straight across. Do I always, you know, change my mind last minute? Yep, I'm a girl. I'm allowed to. Using your reverse tweezers would work very well too while placing them, so you can actually get them a little more centered than I got them. No comment. They're right there. I'm still not grabbing them. I like living life dangerously, and you know, where nothing lines up perfectly. You can also take a ruler if you're extra wanting to get everything lined up. I decided to leave the one popped up. I think I'll put my sentiment on that one. Granted, this one is this highest one. I probably should have done it on like that one. I think we'll be all right. Now my sketch kind of has some options. So this one has like a 1/2 inch that I could have done like a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch even strip down the center and kind of done it the same way. You could definitely do points on all of these so they have that fishtail look. There's lots of different options, right? You could have just cut them all straight or cut them straight and kind of zigzag them. There's lots of different, or you could have left them all the way down to the bottom and just had strips. I'm trying to give you some ideas. So this would have been, you know, I probably would have done some coordinating colors on there. I guess you could go big and bold, especially if you're doing something like just a orange pumpkin, like a die cut on there, or a sticker. You could go a little bit louder. I like more subtle than loud when it comes to my background patterns. So this one I kind of have a tag with a bow. Yes, my bow is very good drawing. I kind of have a tag with a sentiment on there. I don't know if that's what I'm going to end up doing. I might do something like that. I suppose I should find a sentiment that I like. This one has "You're the caramel apple of my eye," which is cute, but I don't know if I want. I could do that on the inside, I guess. You could also add the little smiley faces onto them before you put them on. There's also the little bow there that you could have put on the little stick. Sentiment. I need a fall one. Let's see. Okay, so I kind of decided there's a couple of options. I'll probably bring in that green because that green just kind of pops from the apple. So I'll probably bring in my sentiment on a green piece of cardstock. I found something that's close in my stash. And here are your options. So you could definitely come in with a larger sentiment and go like Happy Harvest and do a band, you know, like a strip across the bottom here in that style if you wanted to. I am going to go in, I think, don't you think those would be absolutely adorable? Yeah. sunflowers. Okay, anyways, might like sunflowers. I think I'm gonna go with this. I'm bringing this one in. It's has that little tiny autumn's greeting. I can put that on I can make a little tag with it, and I think that'll work well. So really, and you could have just gone in with like the caramel apple and done that on a little sized tag. If that's, I would probably stamp the caramel, clean it off, and then stamp the apple to get it kind of in a little square. But you could definitely go, I mean, it's not that long. You could probably go with the full thing. Well, you know what? We're here. Let's do both, and you know, you can see which one you like. And for this one, do I want to do it in black or do I want to do it in brown? The brown is going to be a lot more subtle, but let's do, okay, we'll go with our starter set, thanks, because yeah, this is supposed to be minimal supplies, Jamie Marie. Not me being extra again. Okay, I'm going to go this way, stamp it that way, and then just clean this off. I'm done with that one, so just clean this one off. Good. I think I can get a caramel apple in there yet. And I'm going to clean this off good. The other thing, you know, obviously I used both of them already, so. You can also mask your second or your first part, whoops, of your sentiment. I was trying to get it off the block so I didn't mess it up, but I messed it up anyways. Go figure. So you could definitely just go in with that caramel apple. I love the fact that you can get a really cute card with such a little, the stamp set itself, this one is like a $4 stamp set, so you can get, you know, get some mileage out of it. I love the repeat image look. Let's come in with our paper cutter on this one. So I'm going to use this bar here to kind of line up, because my sentiments are most definitely not going to line up with the edge there at all. How do you know this? I just know. Oh, I should probably go this way. Okay. Well, technically I should be able to, after my first cut, go like this, and I should be able to get the rest of, I want to make, let's go a little bit, well, let's do that cut last, so, all right. It's just not going to work, is it? I'm going to have to do this cut first, make sure it's square-ish before I can do this cut. Okay. Yeah, let's come in. Whew, it's windy today. Alright, let's cut this way. And my little one. Autumn. not me being extra and cutting out 3 greens. Sorry. I like the idea of not. Okay, so I have 3 different options here. Now for this one, let's find where my center point is. It's kind of the opposite of a fishtail banner, and so I'm just going to eyeball it and hope for the best. So this is where you would go this way, and then you could stick it. You can stick it down like this. You can add that twine on there if you want. It'd be kind of cute on, you know, a little bit smaller behind the apple would be cute. But that would work as one option if you're trying to stick with that stamp set. The other one is this. I was thinking this would be kind of cute. Where's my brush? It definitely shows up better on the green than it did the orange and the red. And then just going I'm doing it that way. I kind of like that. I like the torn edge on the back just because it kind of is a reminiscent of the torn edges down below. You can definitely measure and put tick marks on your side if you want to make sure that you're a little bit more even on your angle cuts here. I just, you know, I wing it. It's all good. Okay, so I kind of like the little one. I probably should have moved it over a little bit. I kind of like this. Well, I like this size, but I didn't give myself a lot of room to tear, did I? Okay. So then you have outfits: caramel apple, or autumn's greetings. Maybe this one just needs to be a little shorter. Now, let's see here. Which one do you like the best? I mean, I'm going to go with this one because that's what I wanted to do, but I kind of like the longer one. The little one, the one with a little bit bigger of the sentiment. Like if that was a happy fall, I would go with that, I think. This is just some, I think it's hemp twine. I'm pretty sure you can pick it up at Walmart, maybe. It might be in the jewelry making section, like by the beads, and not by the ribbon. If you catch where I'm going with this one, they do have a thicker one. That's, you know, by some of the other stuff, craft stores included. A lot of times, the thinner stuff might be by the jewelry stuff. I like the thinner stuff just because it's smaller. It works well on a card without adding a lot of bulk, you know, height wise. The easiest way to tie a bow is to make 2 loops and then tie your loops together. Somebody taught me it at an Archiver's like maker event years ago, and it is by far the best bow tying advice I've ever gotten, because I suck at tying bows. I'm not gonna lie. See, I think this one would have looked better because it's longer and it goes across too. But I'm gonna stick to my guns on what I wanted. I'm going to be an extra stubborn today because I can't be. I'm just going to put a dot of glue there, and I will set my bow on top and let it dry. Okay. All right. So for the inside, I have autumn greens on the front, which you really can't read. I really don't like it. Okay. I stuck to my guns for all of a minute. You got to see it look, and you got to see me decide I hated it. So there we go. I really should have gone with the, like, many thanks or happy harvest. I think would have been my preferred. But you've already got to watch me 11 minutes figure out the sentiment on this one, and yeah, I'm not going to make you watch me for another 11 minutes to figure out a different sentiment. Okay, so there is that one. We're going to let that dry. You could add some glossy accents if you have them onto your caramel. That would be really pretty. Add some gloss and shine to it. And then we have the inside sentiment. Let's do the inside sentiment. Since I did caramel apple, I'm just going to go with treat yourself. I don't know what I want to do. Treat yourself. I could just do happy harvest on the inside. Happy harvest, treat yourself, I guess, would work. Let's do that. Here's hoping my bow stays on. So happy harvest, treat yourself. I don't know if I need to treat yourself, but my stubbornness showing today. Color. What color? Well, I can do the VersaFine. It'll go. Then I'm going to come back in with, where's my stamp platform? I'm going to come back in with that caramel apple. And I'm just going to come in and add that. Ooh, I could go green, red, blue, yellow, brown. I'm going to just come in with the brown because it's on my desk and we used it for the other. Do I want to, I'm going to do a second generation so it's not quite as dark. Just kind of go here with it. Add that little caramel apple onto the inside. And then that will finish up our card. I will add some glossy accents onto the caramel part of these. Maybe. I got caramel everywhere. I don't squeeze a whole lot out. I kind of, squeeze a little and kind of use the tip of my bottle to kind of spread out the glossy accent so it's not super thick. It takes forever to dry. Ask me how I know, because I've stuck my fingers in wet glossy accents many, many, many times. Ooh, I wonder if I have brown glitter. That'd be kind of pretty to add, and it would make it look like maybe some salted nuts that it was dipped in. What else do you add to caramel apples? I think I've seen them with M&Ms on them. Sprinkles would work. Ooh, brown jimmies. That'd be good too. A little bit of chocolate. Chocolate chips would be good. All of the options. I guess you could do glitter like in general because you could sugar them, right? So whatever you would add to caramel, you could add that. Let's see. I have, if you're still sticking around, you're just getting extra bits, man. Let's see here. Okay. I may have raided my stash. I may have found some little brown jimmies. It may need to get sorted out here because, you know, yeah. Fun. Let's see. I really only want to put them on a little bit. So I'm going to, one at a time, I'm just going to kind of drop them because that way I'm not, you know, it's random or that way, right? This was not supposed to happen, okay? Just so you know. This is extra content right here. This is how I end up with cards that are just extra, okay? Because I have an idea and then I have to try it. I've also ruined cards by deciding I need to try something. So these are clay, little clay embellishment pieces. Just happened to have some that were that color tone. Let's see if I can find. I should have brown glitter somewhere here. I need it for class on Saturday, so there's that. I should have it. It's in a little tote. Oh, it's right here. It's put away. It's not where it's supposed to be. Okay. So I'm just going to add some chunky brown stuff to 2 of these. I don't know if it really looks like nuts or not, but it's, you know, some added, oh, that's a flower. I don't want a flower. It's my coffee filler mix. I suppose I should probably go in with, I should probably leave that one out. Okay. Maybe we'll do some little brown hearts on the other one. We'll go 5. Okay. So as long as you work semi-fast with your glossy accents, it kind of works as your glue to stick your stuff down. Maybe if I can get them to pick up. Try not to actually touch my glossy accents. I don't want to muck it up too much. Extra careful there. Okay. Ah! And the wetter it is when you put it on there, it's going to be a little bit more forgiving. And then I'm just going to go straight down with my glitter to kind of clean it up a little bit. So there you have, you know, that actually, you didn't need to do this part 100%. This is totally me being extra. Oh, I still get flowers on there. Oh well, they're stuck. They're in there. But, so there you go. So, you know, we've got jimmies, we've got some, we'll call them mixed nuts, or some crushed peanuts, maybe some just sugary sprinkles, all the good things. So, you know, you can definitely dress it up as much or as little as you want. All the options. I like how it turned out. I love how my apples got colored on this one. The reds especially. I love doing the little striations in there. They just look like real apples to me, or a little bit more like real apples to me. And so yeah, there you go. So that is this week's Happy Harvest Treat Yourself. Obviously, we did some extra treats. But, so there's that one, and I will see you guys again next week. Hopefully. I might need to take a week off. I've got a lot of stuff going on. So, I will try to be back next week. I have an idea, so if I can get it filmed, that will be, you know, I'm hoping. Tractor driving should be done. Well, I shouldn't say it will be done. It won't be done because we have all the bales to move yet. It should be less, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. But we have some other family stuff that I need to take care of. So, all in all, I will see you guys. So, you can be as extra or as not extra as you want to be. So, I will hopefully be back again next Saturday. If not, I will see you the Saturday after that. I have, it's busy around here. So, I need to get caught up on house stuff and bookwork stuff and design team stuff and all the things. So most of my design team projects for the month, actually all of my design team projects for the month of October will not be on video form just because I needed a break. I have a backlog of videos to edit and voice over. So yeah, and I tried the new camera. So if you caught Craft Roulette number 236, I think that's what week we're on. I bought a new camera to try out. I was hoping to be able to use it on my computer for lives. I don't like it. You'll see in the video if you watch it. It's definitely not in focus. It's not nearly as good as this one. The pixels weren't as good. It was supposed to be an 8K, 8,000 whatever, so your normal is like 4 whatever, so I thought it was going to be really nice, crisp, clear images, and you couldn't even read the caps on my markers no matter how I held them. So I was unimpressed, and it's going back. So, such is life. It happens. So anyways, I will see you guys soon. Bye!